Hi guys, good morning. This is Bear and welcome to Bear Talk. On my way to work, I would like to share another book I just finished a few days ago. Um, if a businessman write a memoir and told you that you need to follow some principles to success, uh, things like to embrace failure and trust other people, and also give your employees freedom to talk to work. It's kind like a typical cliche or a stereotype of a memoir from a businessman. But the book I've just finished, this book told the same thing but with different stories, and then you find this is make something different. The book was written by Catmull, the founder of Pixar. The book, the name of the book is Creativity Inc. It's one of the best memoir, one of the best biology that I've read this years. So it started. Let's give you a simple story or simple example. You know, a Toy Story movie went quite well, so there will be Toy Story. There would be Toy Story 2, right? And during the process of making Toy Story 2, um, the whole project file was accidentally deleted. It was a disaster, right? Because that means about 100 people's teams, 2 years hard working, 2 years hard work was waste. So everyone was panicked and know that could be a disaster. But quite fortunately, or just by pure luck, an an employee, she worked from home a lot, so she set up a backup in in her laptop, in her computer at home. So that is the only project file they can find, and fortunately, with this file, they only lost about one week, 1 week's workload. So this story reveals two things. So the first thing is that Pixar really gives the employee freedom to work, so they can copy the project file to their own computer, even in some companies, which means some controversial, confidential problems. And also, what surprised me is how they deal with this accident. Like in common common sense, or in most other companies, who deleted the file will be punished, right? Will be filed, or yeah, or even the managers of the person will be filed too. But in Pixar, they didn't punish anyone for this accident. Actually, they didn't even try to find who delete the file. So, which means it's really it's the culture of Pixar that allow people to fail. So you can fail, and after that you will find your own way. So they just encourage their employee to get it real. You know, fail fast and find your own way to work. Speaking of freedom, speaking of free to talk, free to work, um, there will be some interesting comparisons between Pixar and Disney. You know, in Pixar, people, the art directors or any animators, they have the right to decorate their workspace as their own wish, so they can make it as a pirate style or Star Trek style, anything. So make it so personal. But in Disney, before Pixar and Disney combined together, about 2005 or 2010, so at that time, Pixar is the work environment is quite similar as other common companies. So with cubic, and you don't have any personality in your workspace. So this kind of like something um, not so important, but actually it's kind of quite important to show your personality in these details. And after that, that makes it different from other work environment and from other people, and also make the company different from other companies, right? So the other thing about trust, which I mentioned in the beginning of this video, is in Pixar there are a lot of things revealed to the trust, but the one thing I really like is the brain trust meeting, which is kind of like a critical thinking meeting. And here's how they did it. Here's how they do it. Any director, when the film is hitting a milestone or the story is hitting a milestone, they will gather together with other directors and other stakeholders in a whole day workshop or whole day meeting, and they call it brain trust meeting. So during this meeting, all the other directors will try to attack the idea, the story of the movie. All right. So as the director of the movie, he will get a lot of attack from other directors, but it's all based on they have absolute trust with each other, which they believe that all the attacks are from a professional perspective and try to make the story become a better story. So this is kind of different from other critical thinking or strategy thinking or other strategies. So it's kind of like you have to build your trust with your coworkers, with other directors first, and then you can gain a lot of feedbacks from them. And every director in Pixar has to take a brain trust meeting during the procedure of the movie making, and it's quite a challenge, but everyone loves and hates it, right? So this is what I think is really interesting. And another thing about this book is that it reveals the other side of Steve Jobs. If you read some stories about Steve Jobs, you will know, all right, he's a tyrant, okay? He's really bossy and really makes other people uncomfortable and tolerate, just make other people, make the people work for him quite miserable. But during this book, the author of this book, he reveals that I think the great leadership of Steve Jobs, this side of Steve Jobs, like he encourages all the creators in Pixar to follow their own pace, and it's okay to have different opinions. If you have enough logic to convince me, okay, I will instantly change my opinion. So, and also I think it's like at Apple or other companies that Steve Jobs created, he just think he's the best, but in Pixar he knows that as an artist creating animation movies, he is not the professional in this field. So he become a great leader and also a great visionary. For example, when before Toy Story was released, after it was made, Steve Jobs asked all the stakeholders, the managers of Pixar to go public, to get interviews and to meet medias. So they don't like it because they are kind of introvert people, too shy to talk to the public, and they don't think it's necessary. And Steve Jobs talked to them about the logic. So Steve Jobs, he knows that Toy Story will become a great success for Pixar. So after that, because Pixar and Disney signed a contract, which Disney will is the distributor for Pixar for 3 movies. But this contract is not good for Pixar. So Steve Jobs knows that after Toy Story's success, there will be a huge future for Pixar to make other great movies. And after 2 movies left, the contract with Disney will be updated. So before that, they need to gain a lot of reputation and go public and to gain more attention, so they can negotiate with Disney with a better offer. So Steve Jobs hopes that they will get a 50-50 profit split contract. And all the things go as Steve Jobs predict. So after that, it's like he, as the leader of Pixar, make a roadmap for Pixar, and in the next few years, Pixar don't need to worry about financial, so they can concentrate on creating. So this is a great leader, what a great leader should do. So yeah, I think for this book, it's not about talking to some cliche about business, about success, or about creativity, but actually it provides some practical ways to do that. And also it's like combination of art and technology. Like art sometimes will challenge technology, and technology can inspire us art. So yeah, I think all the managers, all the creative managers, CEOs, and art-related people should read this book. Highly recommended. Alright, so this is Bear Talk book review, Creativity Inc. I will see you in another video. Bye!